Welcome to Soul-Led Creative Women, a podcast for women passionate about personal growth, seeking bold, brave tools to navigate life's ups and downs. This episode is all about the growth power of creative risk. Have you ever felt a creative nudge but held back because it felt too risky? What if leaning into that discomfort is exactly what your soul is asking for? This episode will help you discover how low-risk creativity can calm your nervous system and lay the foundation for deeper self-expression. Learn why high-risk creative activities and starting from scratch are deeply transformative. And begin to see creativity as a spiritual practice, one that connects you with your intuition, resilience, and soul's truth. Let's get started. Enjoy. There's a moment that every creative person knows. It's the moment just before you begin, when the page is still blank, the canvas untouched, the silence waiting to be filled. Your hands hover, your breath catches, and a voice inside you whispers, "What if I mess up? What if it's not good enough? What if I can't do this?" This is not just resistance, it's the edge of something powerful, the edge of creative growth. Most of us begin our creative journeys with low-risk activities, and for good reason. They're comforting, predictable, grounding. We're talking mindful colouring, jigsaw puzzles, cooking from a recipe, copying a pattern, following a tutorial, filling in the lines. There's beauty in these practices. They offer a reset for the nervous system. They bring us into the present moment, soften our stress, and gently remind us that we can make things, that creativity can be safe, soothing, and satisfying. They're like creative training wheels, perfect for building confidence, calming anxiety, or simply taking a pause from a very chaotic world. But at some point, something deeper begins to stir. A creative whisper, a nudge, a quiet ache for more. You start feeling restless inside the lines. You begin to wonder what it would feel like to let your imagination run free. No template, no plan, no rules, just your hands, your heart, and your inner world spilling out onto the page. That's where the magic begins. Every one of us has a creative edge, a threshold between what feels safe and what feels like a stretch. For some, it's sharing their art. For others, it's starting in the first place. Or it might be letting go of the need to get it right or good enough and allowing the process to lead. I know I've experienced all three of these things throughout my creative journey. When you choose high-risk creativity, like improvising, inventing, expressing from raw emotion, you're not just making art, you're developing resilience. You're learning to stay present with discomfort. You're saying, I don't know where this is going, but I trust myself enough to go anyway, and it's going to be okay. And this is where the real growth lies. Because when you consistently meet your creative edge and gently push past it, your inner world begins to expand. You become more tolerant of imperfection, more open to mystery, and more anchored in your inner knowing. High-risk creative expression is where you meet the raw, real, radiant parts of yourself. It's where the art making becomes less about the outcome and more about the becoming. When you write a poem that's never been written before, when you choreograph a dance that's lived only in your body, when you place the first mark on a blank canvas with no idea where it's going, you are taking a risk. Not just a creative one, but a deeply personal one. You are risking being seen, you are risking imperfection, and you are risking your own aliveness. And in that risk lives incredible power. These kind of creative acts demand presence. They ask you to listen, not to what's trending or what others are doing, but to your soul. They invite you into a space of pure possibility, where every decision must come from within. There are no instructions, just trust, intuition, just you and the mystery dancing. And of course it's vulnerable, of course it's scary, and that's kind of the point. Because the truth is, every time you choose high-risk creativity, you are saying, I am willing to grow. You are building creative resilience, you're learning to tolerate discomfort, you're strengthening your capacity to stay with uncertainty, and you're expanding your sense of self in the process. It's not just art, it's spiritual practice, it's emotional courage, it's transformation. And here's the beautiful part. The more often you do it, the stronger your creative risk tolerance becomes. What once felt terrifying, sharing your art, improvising a dance, writing from your rawest place, starts to feel liberating, even joyful. You begin to realize that it's not about making something perfect. It's about meeting yourself fully through the creative process. And the part that no one tells you when you first pick up the paintbrush, a pen, is that creativity can be a portal. It can be a form of prayer, a deep conversation with the divine. Creative risks invite us into the unknown, the same space where the soul speaks. They ask us to surrender control, to release expectations, and to show up in radical presence. When we create without a script, we access something ancient and true within us, a deeper intelligence that moves through our hands and whispers, this is who you are beneath the noise. And in that sense, creativity becomes more than self-expression. It becomes self-connection, self-remembrance. Every time you face the blank page and listen inward instead of outward, you are deepening your relationship with your soul. You are stepping beyond the surface of daily life and touching something sacred. It's vulnerable, it's humbling, but it's also one of the most honest experiences you'll ever have. And here's the beautiful thing. Your creative risk doesn't have to be massive and big to start with. To start, it could be as small as, making one unplanned brushstroke, using your non-dominant hand to draw, writing a poem that no one else will ever see, just for you, singing to yourself or the dog, moving your body freely to music in your living room. Each of these is a brave act. It's a step beyond the known and into your aliveness. And the more often you say yes to these small risks, the more your tolerance grows, and over time your fear softens. Your curiosity grows louder than your inner critic. You realize the point was never perfection. It was connection. So if you find yourself staring at the blank page, feeling unsure, just take a pause, take a breath, and then remember that trembling feeling in your chest, that's not fear, that's the gateway to your growth and expansion. I'm going to finish this episode with a little invitation for you to reflect. I want you to ask yourself, where are you currently playing it safe in your creative life? And what would it look like to take one brave step into the unknown, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, even if it's just for you? I hope you enjoyed this episode. Take care. Hey, Sam here. Thanks so much for listening to the end. If you'd like to keep the conversation going, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Join my free soul-led creative community and gain access to free guides and resources, plus exclusive events and workshops, all from within the members area. This is your chance to connect with me and other like-minded souls. Please head to samhorton.co/community. Take care.